Good evening, friends. It's my pleasure to introduce today's learned speaker, Mrs Sudha A Majumdar, who is going to give her talk on productivity management through TQM, Total Quality Management. She is basically an electrical and mechanical engineer, having 48 years of total working experience, out of which 29 years in 4 well-known organizations of Baroda, such as Elmax Industries, Tosha Electronics, Susan Textile Bearings, APA Star Industries, and Voltam Transformer Limited in managerial position, and 19 years in own business. She has contributed since 24th November 1983 as the founder member, general secretary, and former co-chairperson up to 14th May 2011 to Quality Circle Forum of India for propagation of the basic quality concepts, independent consultant in quality concepts and soft skills since August 2011. She has organized 21 Gujarat state level and 1 national level convention with 4,500 delegates, and also organized 9 Gujarat state level, 3 national, 9 international conventions of quality circles in education, 3 conventions of QCFI Ankleshwar chapter, participated at 12 in-house conventions of various organizations. Thus, experience of more than 85 conventions is to her credit. She has to her credit booklets written on quality control, Pathadarshika and quality circle at a glance in Gujarati, Kaizen in Hindi, quality control at home in Hindi, and 5S in Gujarati translated by her. She has to her credit unique and pioneering experiment in the form of implementation of quality circle at home, rural quality circle, and 5S at home. She is faculty to Baroda Productivity Council, Quality Circle Forum of India headquarters, and Vadodara chapter, and Ankleshwar chapter, and other chapters. She has conducted training, post-training guidance sessions, audit and evaluation sessions for 5-year certifications for GRP Limited Ankleshwar, Panoli and Solapur, NTPC Limited, Janor, Parle Products Private Limited, then Shroff SR Institute of Chemical Technology, Vataria near Ankleshwar. Also conducted programs for Vardhaman Acrylics Limited, Jagadia, Reliance Industries, Hazira, S. Kumar's Nationwide Limited, Jagadia, Transpex Silox Industry, and many other organizations. So it's my pleasure to request Madam Mrs. Sudha Majumdar to initiate her discourse on total quality management.
Thank you. I thank the Institution of Engineers, Gujarat State Chapter, and I'm happy to address you all. Why productivity management? Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Make in India campaign on 15th of August 2014 with a view to first develop India, and Indian companies need to shine as multinational companies. In order to make the campaign the ultimate success, Indians need to manage consistent and error-free quality, productivity, safety in manufacturing and services, and several other sectors. Productivity management means appropriate technology, competition in satisfying 5 basic expectations of customers, which are best quality of products at most reasonable price, at the time delivery at the time of the requirement and in the required quantities, and after sales services, and best management of people at the grassroots levels. Now, what is production? So production is a process of several activities which creates a product or set of products or services. Production is meant for people to make use of. Production of a product or production of services facilitates in terms of comfort, saving of time, energy, space, manpower, money, etc. Easy and ample availability of products is the result of production. Now, categories of life requirements of people. First is the food required for living and getting energy for doing day-to-day work. Clothing required for covering the body for safety and hygiene. Shelter required for safety against atmosphere having heat, rains and cold. Health and hygiene required for happiness in life. Safety and security required against theft, violation, sickness, old age and recession. Education required for development of intelligence and earning capability. Other requirements required to improve standard of living, transportation, entertainment, banking, etc. Now let us see what is productivity. Productivity is a measure of ratio of production to cost of production. Productivity is production of an industry as a result of production process and economical use of financial investment, manpower, technology, land, machinery and equipments. Productivity is an attitude and a mental activity. The efforts of continuous improvement at reduced cost can result into improved productivity. Productivity is integral part of our lives. Productivity is not limited only to the industry, but virtually in every field. Major factors affecting productivity in industrial context. First, technology. Second, competition. Third, workmen. Now let us see all these aspects one by one. So first is appropriate technology, which is try to eliminate the out-of-date machinery and equipments. The old machinery and old equipments call for often maintenance in terms of replacement of parts, consumption of extra electrical energy, productivity losses, rework of defectives, etc. The cost of old machinery reduces and the finished product price remains same or cannot be increased proportionately. In such a situation, appropriate technology is more important than modernization. Proper maintenance of machinery is equally important for efficiency of machines. Now let us see the second aspect, which is competition. As seller's market is converted into buyer's market, it is the customer who decides his requirements. In the new era, the customer expects best quality of products at reasonable price, in the required quantity, just-in-time delivery of products and satisfactory after-sale services. In order to fulfill the above needs, the manufacturers have competition amongst them, who learn and implement TQM, that is total quality management concepts like 5S, Kaizen, quality circle, SPC, which is statistical process control, SQC means statistical quality control, SMED means single minute exchange of dice, that is setup time reduction, Pokayoke is concept of mistake proofing. TPM, the total productive maintenance. The third aspect is important factors of industries, the workmen. Improvement in productivity depends upon the cooperation and efficiency of the workmen. It is therefore essential for management to implement TQM concepts. Productivity means maximum production of best quality in minimum expenses, minimum labor, and minimum time, and maintaining consistency. So productivity is equal to production, that is output, and production cost, that is input. The fourth aspect is productivity, which depends upon factors affecting productivity, which are internal factors as well as external factors. The internal factors are manpower, machinery and equipment, raw materials and components, land, mutual relationship and productivity, time taken for production. And external factors are market condition, raw material supply position, and government policies. Now, we need to see the causes of several wastages. So, starting with causes of wastage of manpower. Number one is absence of work, then non-availability of raw materials, delay in getting tools and tackles, machines being out of order, entrusting low-grade work to a competent workman, and lack of education of appropriate topic, incomplete or improper instructions of boss. The reasons for wastage of machine efficiency, which are selection of wrong or useless machinery or equipment, inappropriate machine tools, lack of proper maintenance and machines equipments, lack of balancing of work on machines and equipment, etc. The reasons for wastage of raw material: wrong design of product or parts, negligence in handling raw materials, wrong method of using components or raw material, lack of maintenance of quality of raw materials, theft of components or raw materials, lack of using materials and components at appropriate time. We also need to see the reasons of improper use of space, lack of careful use of space, modern machinery, tools and tackles not used, lack of systematic storage, haphazard use of space, lack of proper facilities. And I remember in one of my companies, I found a blind man working in my department on a mechanical arbor press. He was assembling the bush and the axle on an ordinary mechanical arbor press. Every day I used to watch this man, and I found that he was doing too much of labor. So I thought he should be given some other equipment which will improve the productivity. And then I requested my boss to consider giving him a hydraulic press. And that hydraulic press would improve the productivity considerably. So I was asked as to how much productivity will improve. In those days, he was assembling 1600 axles in 8 hours. And it was my estimate that he would at least assemble 4000 axles in 8 hours. So it was 2.5 times the more productivity, and the management felt a lot of interest in that, and I was given that opportunity to arrange for the hydraulic press. Now, one important activity I had to do before I handed over the machine to him was that the foot pedal operation of the hydraulic press I eliminated, and I converted that hydraulic press into hand operation, and explained to the blind man that he has to take extra care while pressing the lever, because if he presses the lever and the hand is inside the die set, then there is a possibility of accident. And it is my experience that blind people, they are very sensitive on such issues, and I realized that that was a very appropriate action. Then I suggested that if an industrial engineering study can be taken on that activity, we would know as to how much the person can work, can go up to. And the industrial engineering study was taken on that, and that the same person, he could produce 4,576 axles on the same hydraulic press, which meant 576 extra number of axles assembled over and above my estimate. So this is how a change in machinery can also help in improving the productivity. Then causes of unhealthy mutual relationship: lack of healthy, reliable interpersonal relationship, lack of understanding about reliable relationship, need of education and development not addressed, no system of motivating and encouraging employees, lack of using basic modern quality concepts, which are 5S for workplace management, Kaizen for continuous improvement, and quality circle for self-development and mutual development. So the reason for wastage of time also need to be seen. That is lack of awareness and consciousness, work study and measurement not done, lack of time, lost time analysis and not taking corrective actions, inefficient working of workmen, not reviewed for improvement, lazy and irresponsible and untrained workmen. Now, everybody's work should be a matter of pleasure. So, pleasure of work means prestige due to excellent work. Work means satisfaction and delight. Work means picking up challenges. Work means excellent relationship with all. And work means our own participation. Having seen these points, now we also need to know what is TQM. So total quality management, let us first see the definition. Total quality management is an organization-wide participation and commitment to do all activities right and strive for continuous improvement of conventional quality management system to make it more systematic and result oriented, to make best quality of products and services available to the customers. Having seen the basic definition, now we should also know why should the TQM be adapted. So number one is to satisfy the expectations of internal and external customers by continuous improvement. Internal customer means the people working on the various processes, and external customer are the ultimate customers. To make the products and services of every organization or industry available at reasonable price, to make the products and services certainly available when needed in required quantity without any delay, to make the after sales services prompt and satisfactorily available to the customers, and to enhance and maintain the prestige of the industry or organization. Also, to generate conditions in which the customers are able to rely upon the supplier. Somebody has said very rightly that quality and reliability, they go together. To ensure sustenance of the industry or business for a long time by continuous and healthy competition, to provide opportunities to people for satisfying financial and social needs, then to generate synergic effects and to establish friendly and happier relations in internal and external fields. Now, let us see uh, TQM is essential for whom. So, they are initially meant for the customer, so customer of each and every industry or organization, to create a chain of customers for all employees of all levels, for owners and investors, for the suppliers of raw materials and other items, for the public of a nation, and for progress of every state and the country. How to measure the impact of total quality management? So, impact of total quality management can be measured by enhancement of levels of total satisfaction and delight of the customers. And how can we do this? By knowing the minimum customer complaints, reduction in rate of attrition, winning back the lost customers, resulting into increase in the turnover, appreciation by customers due to total satisfaction. Also, the impact of improvement in operating procedures can be measured by maximum reliability, fastest delivery, reduction in time of manufacturing according to the order, defect-free production, reduction in inventory of raw materials and other items, cost reduction under every head, and two-way communication. We should also know the improvements in employee relationship with the management, how to go about achieving them. So increased satisfaction of employees is first and foremost. Then regular attendance and the people liking to be very regular, less turnover of employees, improvement in health and safety, higher suggestions received for improvement, and increased financial improvement in an industry or an organization. How to know the impact of this? Higher market share, increase in sales, higher sales per employee, and employee maximum return on investment. So these are the four basic aspects which affect the uh, total quality management. Now, while talking about the productivity, I need to give you a bit of information on the three basic quality concepts, starting with the first concept, which is 5S. 5S is a concept of workplace management. It is also a concept which improves the observation power. And that is why it is very relevant in the context of the Clean India campaign. So the government of India should consider this aspect of implementing 5S in all the sectors, all the areas, all the organizations, and including all the homes of 127 crore of people in this country. 5S is a concept pioneered by a person known as Takashi Osada, a Japanese citizen. He is an expert. It is also said that the concept was launched way back in 1962, and it has brought very impressive results in improving the economy of Japan. 5S is a concept. Why is it known as 5S? Because it is consisting of 5 Japanese letters, 5 Japanese words which begin with S. So the first word is Seari. Seari means sorting out. And sorting out what? Sorting out required, not required, and to be repaired. When you sort out everything, then you know how much space was occupied by unwanted thing in your department. So that is how you can identify the wanted, unwanted things. For this, a technique is known, used is the red tag technique, that anything that you want to take action upon is given a red tag. On the red tag, the person will write as to what action is required to be taken on that. And once the action is taken, the red tag will be removed, it will be recorded, and the further action will be taken. So CRE is the first activity. Having done completed the CRE, the next activity is SETON. The spelling of CRE is SEIRI. SETON is SEITON. SETON means place for everything and everything in its place. And people should have the discipline in doing both the things, identifying the place also and keeping back to the identified place also. And absolute discipline is essential. So some people, they call it PEEP. PEEP. PEEP means place for everything and everything in its place. So the second S says SETON. Third S is SESO, SEISO. SESO means cleaning and inspection. That each and every person in the organization must see his own workplace, own work areas, and find out which are the common areas, which are the hidden areas, and which are the no man's land. Hidden areas are those areas where normally we are not able to clean up every day. No man's land are those areas where hardly anybody goes, like our roof top or our terraces, etc. So those areas are known as the no man's land. Now cleaning of all the three is very essential. So the people have to decide the schedules and see on Monday what will be cleaned, on Tuesday what will be cleaned. So they need to decide the frequency, and as per the frequency they have to do the cleaning and then the inspection, so that they can make sure that the cleaning was done in complete order. The fourth S is ACI KETSU, that is Siketsu. Siketsu meaning standardization. Standardization of what? Standardization of CRE, SETON, and SESO. All the three things should be standardized. And then in Siketsu, people have to make small rules. Like you know, in a number of organizations, you must be seeing that the glass doors, they are opened by, with a push by hand, by palm. But that is not a right system of opening a door. The door should always be opened by the handle and closed also by the handle. See, if we don't make anything dirty, then the cleaning is not required to be done. I had the opportunity to visit several other countries like Mauritius, China, UK, France, Switzerland, Dubai, and I learned from there that most of the people, they don't make things dirty. As a result of which, the cleaning is not required to be done. So if we Indians, if we learn not to make anything dirty, then half the work of this country will be over, and every organization, every place will be facilitated. Now let us see the last S, which is Shitsuke. Shitsuke means discipline. And discipline of what? Discipline in carrying out the Seiri, Seton, Seiso, and Siketsu. Now somebody asked me that how to remember these words, Seiri, Seton, Seiso, Siketsu, and Shitsuke. And I have a small tip to give you. Like first four words, they begin with SEI. So SEI and then RI. So when you write SEI RI, what you have to remember is only RI. In the second one, only remember TON. It is a bit nasal pronunciation. So Seton, Ton means TON. Third S is Seso. So only remember SO. And in fourth one, it is slightly longer, KETSU. KETSU, KETSU, if you speak 5 times, you are able to memorize. And in the fifth word rather, SEI is not there. This is how you can remember. But in place of E, you have to write H. So SHI and TSUK is KTSU is TSUK in the last word. So this is how the 5 words can be memorized. 5S is a concept which is not for the industry alone. It can also be implemented in the home, in the hospitals, hotels, banks, schools, colleges, and virtually every area wherever there are people working together or living together. All such places 5S can be implemented. So this was 5S in nutshell. Now let us see the advantages of 5S. That 5S is a concept which improves the workplace management, as I said earlier. It also improves the observation power. We can save space, we can save time, we can save energy. And when I talk about this space, I remember that when I was in a school, I learned that the population of India in those days was 36 crores. And now it is 127 crores. It naturally means that now space is a biggest limitation. And that is the reason why all of us should learn to economize the space. Also, the other energy things also can be. And when I say energy, energy in all forms, all energy, all forms in energy we can save because of 5S. Also the raw materials saving, manpower saving, and several other savings we can do. And this is why 5S is a concept which will ultimately help the Clean India campaign. Now, having known about the 5S, let us also know another concept which is known as Kaizen. Kaizen is consisting of 2 words. First word, half the word is Kai. Kai is Kai. Kai means continuous and Zen means improvement. Kaizen means continuous improvement. And it is a concept which says that whatever work each one of us does, there is always a scope for improvement. And we should identify which are the areas where there is a scope for improvement and try to make continuous improvements on and never get satisfied with whatever improvements we have already made. Well, there can be a further improvement visible, and that is why we should do this 5S, quality circle and the Kaizen also. Okay. Now, Kaizen is a concept pioneered by Masaki Imai, and Masaki Imai pioneered this concept for uh, improvement in the economical condition of Japan. And now in India, many companies, many professional companies are practicing this concept, and they have realized that it is the worker who knows best what problem of his are there in his work area, and if given the opportunity, he can do a better work in solving the problems, and that is how it can help. The third concept is quality circle. That quality circle is a concept which is a small group of people, 5 to 15 persons, who meet on a known day, time and place for about an hour to identify, analyze and resolve their work related problems. And many times we realize that there are number of problems in our day-to-day work, and many times the people keep reporting initially for once, twice, thrice, and fourth time when they see that no one takes any action, then they stop reporting also. So such a thing should not happen. So if we empower our grassroots level employees, if we give them a proper training on 7 basic tools of problem solving, they are also able to uh, resolve their day-to-day problems, and in the process they develop and they mutually develop each other, and also the management finds more time for the management related activities. So that is the advantage when the grassroots levels participation is the considered as integral part of total quality management. So that is very important. Now, quality circle uh, in India in 1962, it started in Japan, and in India it started in 1982. So the Bharat Heavy Electricals was the first company which started this activity in their Ramchandrapuram, Hyderabad unit. And since then, uh, it went on propagating. Also, then some of the people, they realized that there was a need for having a social organization, and a national organization, and that national organization would propagate the concept in the various parts of the country. That is how the headquarter of Quality Circle Forum of India is in Hyderabad, which is a twin city known as Hyderabad Secunderabad. And the headquarter was launched in April 1982, and it has just completed 33 years because it was launched in the registered in December. Now, the organization has a good network. It has 22 chapters all over the country. Chapters are the branches of the organization, which are known by the cities in which the offices are situated. I belong to Vadodara chapter in Gujarat and Ankleshwar chapter also in Gujarat. and both these chapters I had the opportunity to be the founder member. Now these chapters, 22 chapters all over the country, then 6 sub-chapters also in the country, and 2 centers. Now the basic difference between all these are that chapters are those branches which are independently working. Sub-chapters are the chapters owned up by the different chapters and giving them support of the training, financial support, etc., etc. So they are the sub-chapters, and centers are those branches which are supported by our headquarters. So this is how the network is available. And for Clean India campaign, QCFI has more than 1500 well-trained people who can help in implementing these concepts, and it can bring very impressive results. Now coming back to quality circle, that quality circle, a bit of small history about quality circle concept, that before Second World War, the Japanese products used to be the very inferior quality of goods. And then in the Second World War, between 1939 and 45, there was a lot of devastating effects on the industrial aspect. And industries where it is said that 92% industry of Japan had devastating effects. So virtually everything had to be started from scratch. And it was General MacArthur who collected these leaders of the Japanese industries, and they discussed, and then they decided to invite the 2 quality gurus of America, one Dr. Deming and the other Dr. Juran. And these 2 quality gurus, they came to Japan and taught them the statistical quality control. And statistical quality control, having learned the Japanese, they percolated down the knowledge to the lowest person. And that is how this activity started taking root. There was also a professor in Tokyo University known as Kaoru Ishikawa. So Dr. Ishikawa, he took the lead and he collected a group of workmen who were asked to improve the quality of products. And that is how this name Quality Circle came in being. Now, during the training and during the implementation process, Dr. Ishikawa realized that it is the worker who knows best the problem of his area, and the times have gone when the workman should be called a machine operator. He is a person who has enough qualities in him to be able to discuss work related problems. He can also give suggestions which will be fruitful for implementation, and these suggestions will ultimately improve the quality, the productivity, the safety, cost reduction, housekeeping, and several other all sort of waste can be minimized. And in the competition, see, minimizing all sort of waste is one of the very important aspects needed to be addressed by all the organizations, and that is how this concept of quality circle is useful. Now, quality circle has a bit of small structure. So at the bottom, it is the potential members, which are not the actual member of a quality circle, but they have all the capacity to be the member, and that is why they are known as potential members. After them, they are the volunteers are the members of quality circles. The volunteers, amongst themselves, they select one person to be a leader and another one to be a deputy leader. And these two persons, they carry out all the day-to-day activities of the quality circles. As I said, quality circle is a group which meets once in a week. So these conducting the meeting, writing the minutes, and post meeting activities to be done. So all these activities are done by this person, the leader and deputy leader. Above him there is a facilitator. Facilitator is normally a management representative appointed by a management, not a volunteer. But if a volunteer is appointed to be a facilitator, it will be more advantageous. Then there is a steering committee which is consisting of all the HODs, and all the HODs, they will look after their own quality circles on what sort of problems they have selected, how they have gone about collecting data, what are the different causes they have identified, and what are the different solutions they have thought of, which are the solutions which can be given permission to implement, and finally what are the results. So this is how the management will give them a bit of support. Quality circles normally use the 7 basic techniques, or they are known as 7 tools. First is the flow diagram, which is used for showing a process in the chronology of the activities. The next is the brainstorming. Brainstorming is a technique used for generating ideas. And there are different types of brainstorming sessions. So in the details, when the training programs are conducted, the various methods are taught. So brainstorming is the second technique. Third technique is the data collection, that all those problems which the people solve, they will always based on the data. And when the database study is done, it is more reliable. So that is that. After that, the next technique is graphs. And there are 2 types of graphs. One are common graphs and the others are special graphs. So common graphs are line graph, bar graph, pie chart, pictorial graph, and so on. And special graphs are radar graph, float graph, and several other graphs like G graph, pyramid graph, etc., etc. Then the next technique is the stratification. Stratification is the categorization of data. And this categorization helps in deciding the order. The next technique is the Pareto diagram. Pareto diagram is a technique used for prioritizing the problems or prioritizing the causes of problem to be addressed. That in what chronology the group will address the causes of a particular problem. So this is where the Pareto diagram is used. The third use of Pareto diagram is also to compare the conditions before and after. And last technique, 7th technique, is cause and effect diagram, which is also known as Ishikawa diagram or also known as fishbone diagram. Now, having seen the the 7 basic technique, and then the people are given 1 hour in the official time, company's time, 1 hour to conduct the meeting. In the first meeting, they would identify the problems. Then they will prioritize, categorize the problem and then prioritize. Then they will collect the data. Based on the data, they will also, they will convert the data into graphs. And then the Pareto diagram will decide which problems to be taken first, and then the cause and effect analysis will help them in finding out the causes. If the people know the causes, then the direction for solution will be known to the people, and this is how the entire concept is used. Uh, this concept, for the first time in the world, my family used way back in November 1983 with three young girls of 4 years, 7 years, and 11 years of age. And I taught them problem solving at that age. Initially, we were ourselves not sure whether a 4-year young child or a 7-year young child would be able to participate or not. But in a broken language, in a very scattered language, the children could say something. And we learned that time that even a 4 years or 7 years child is also very highly communicative. Now, after that, this concept we implemented on 5th November 1983. And now these three girls have grown to three professionals. First one is a telecom engineer, second one is a DGM in AdLabs, and third one is an architect in ACOM Architects in London. And it is indeed a great pleasure seeing the three successful daughters in the family. So with this, I keep the floor open for the question answers if you have any.
Questions? Questions?
Question to bigger question.
ये तो ये थी आपसे।
Time study or motion study can improve the total quality.
Yes, it does. See, because every activity has several motions, and each one of the motion, how much time it takes, it should be recorded. And when it is recorded, people will know what is the actual time the activity takes. And then when you see the entire study properly, you will know that it helps in improving the productivity.
Does the safety also comes into it?
Yes, very much. Why? Because the 5S is also for safety improvements. Kaizen is also for safety improvements, and quality circle also for safety improvements. So all safety related problems are also considered by the practitioners of 5S Kaizen quality circle.
Generally, productivity is perceived that it is only for profit-making organizations. But now, Philip Kotler itself has written one book for improvement productivity of non-profit-making organizations, like even churches and even institutions like universities, where everyone wants to be part of university, but nobody wants to contribute significantly or be part of the improvement of the productivity, because he is having perception that productivity is to be implemented only in a profit-making organization, and it is so. As evident from this, every letter is equally applicable to government organization, profit-making or non-profit-making. The only thing is that somebody has to follow up the way it is followed in a typical profit-making organization.
Now we're talking about energy. The energy plays a very important role. So if we conserve energy or something related to that, is it related to quality management?
Yes, it is one of the part, because in making quality, the various things are required to be used. So when you use energy, energy in all forms needs to be saved, because generation and saving, these two have the direct relationship.
So is it like classified in any of the standardization, which is required? Like you say, pi s or something, it's like energy conservation price.
See, whenever we have the different problems studied by the grassroots level employees, they study the cycle times in a number of cases. Now, supposing an activity takes, say, 2 minutes, but there is another concept known as single minute exchange of time. So, setup time. Many times in the industry, you will find that at times it is 2 hours setup time, 3 hours setup time, or all 8 hours only doing the settings. Now, this time, if you reduce, it will get converted into the productivity, and it helps in improving the productivity. So, setup time reduction, how do they study? That any activity which is being done, how much time each element is taking, and which is the activity which takes maximum time. So, whether that time can be reduced to single minute or not. Supposing it takes, say, 60 minutes. So, 60 are the two digit, 6 and 0. But whether you can do the same work in 6 minutes or not. So the people would work on such aspects and find out what is the idea to do the same work in just 6 minutes. So the various ideas are given by the grassroots levels that, and when they do, apply such ideas, they realize that yes, it helps wonderfully well. Have I answered you?
Like in projects and all, we prepare for CPM charts and all.
Yes.
Accordingly,
Yeah. So
for
these
this
are
industry,
also
we do that.
These are also some of the tools.
Right.
But they are descriptive type. They are not statistical tools.
Exactly.
What CPM, etc. Yes.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming out over here from all the way from Baroda. And
My pleasure.
it was our pleasure to have you here, listening here. Very lucidly and very simply explained the concept of TQM and how to increase the productivity employing TQM. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
If you have any questions, kindly press the Q&A link which is on your screen to the right, or you may send it us to gujaratsk@ieiindia.org. Thank you.
Take out in this safe mode.
इसका जान ही रहा है नहीं